So, you've probably heard the name ChatGPT just about everywhere, right? But what is it really? And more importantly, how can you actually use it? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down, step by step. Let's dive in. I want you to imagine something for a second. What if you had a personal assistant right there with you, 24/7? Someone who's ready to handle pretty much any task you throw at them. What would you even do with that kind of help? Seriously, think about it. An assistant that could write that really tricky email for you, or explain something super complicated like you're 5 years old. It could map out your next big project, or even just brainstorm with you when you're feeling stuck. Well, that's not some far off fantasy. That's exactly the kind of power you get with your own personal AI assistant. And the tool that makes it all possible? That's ChatGPT. So, what exactly is ChatGPT? At its heart, it's basically an AI you can have a conversation with. You just type in a question or give it a command, and it gives you this really detailed, human sounding response. It's designed to be your partner for all things writing, learning, and creating. It sounds pretty powerful, right? But the best part is that getting started is incredibly easy. Let me show you what I mean. All you have to do is just go to chatgpt.com. You can sign in with a Google account, Apple, a regular email. Once you're in, you'll see this super simple chat box just waiting for you to ask your first question. Okay, so you're in, you've got the chat box open. Now comes the most important part. See, anyone can ask a question, but the real secret to unlocking what ChatGPT can do is knowing how to ask. If you take away only one thing today, let it be this. The quality of the answer you get depends completely on the quality of the question you ask. If you ask vague questions, you're going to get vague answers. But clear, specific instructions, that's when you get incredible results. Just take a look at these two prompts. Asking it to explain physics is, well, where would it even start? It's like asking a librarian to just find you a book. But look at the good prompt. You specify the topic, Newton's laws, you set the tone in simple words, and you ask for a format with real-life examples. See? You're giving it a perfect target to aim for. Once you really get that basic idea down, you suddenly unlock this amazing toolbox that you can use for pretty much every part of your life. Let's look at a few examples. Let's kick things off with your work life. Just think about how much time you spend on little tasks like writing emails or reports. This is where ChatGPT can be a massive game changer. So instead of just staring at a blank screen, you give it a simple command like this. And boom, in seconds, you have a totally professional draft that you can just tweak and send. Think about the time you just got back. Okay, how about for students? This is where ChatGPT really goes from being just a productivity tool to an amazing learning partner. So you're struggling with some dense chapter in a textbook? Just ask ChatGPT to explain it. And the key here is that little phrase, like I'm 10 years old, that forces the AI to drop all the complicated jargon and use simple analogies. It makes almost any subject easy to understand. And it's not just for all the formal stuff like work or studying. It can also be your creative co-pilot. Feeling stuck and need some ideas? Ask it to brainstorm for you. And notice again how specific this prompt is. It sets the number of ideas, the platform, the niche, and even the style. This is how you get really useful, targeted results. All right, so you get the power of being specific. Now let's level up. How do you get not just good answers, but great answers every single time? Well, there's a simple 4-part recipe you can use. This is the pro-level stuff. First, you give it a role. Tell it to act as a fitness trainer. Next, you set the format, like write this in bullet points. Then you define the tone. Use a friendly tone. And last, you clearly state your goal. Help me study faster. When you put all 4 of those things together, you give the AI everything it needs to know to give you exactly what you want. Now look, even with a fantastic prompt, the first draft might not be perfect. And you know what? That's totally okay. You don't have to start all over again. The first answer is just the beginning of the conversation. You can follow up with simple commands like, hey, make that shorter, or can you explain this with an example? This little back and forth is where you really dial things in and get the best results. And that's really it. You now have the core skills to make ChatGPT work for you. You know how to write a good prompt, how to fine-tune the answer, and you even have that pro recipe to get expert-level stuff. And remember that 24/7 personal assistant we were talking about at the start? With the official mobile app, you literally have that assistant in your pocket, ready to help you with anything, anywhere. The tool is right there at your fingertips, and now you have the playbook. It's ready to help you work smarter, learn faster, and create things you haven't even thought of yet. So the only real question is, what are you going to create first?